what I did yesterday afternoon after the stream, yesterday was I mean it was nasty. It turned like guys, if you saw the tweets I was putting out on Twitter and the stories on Instagram, what that trade I was able to hit did, oh my god. That was probably one of the best day trades I've had in a long time. Like, I literally just sat here. I was doing other stuff, and all of a sudden, I just saw, like, orders getting filled. My phone just started freaking out, and I was like, what is this? Like, I was expecting the market to come down like that, but not to give me an 800-something% trade. And then, well, that was the screenshot, but the last orders actually got filled over 1,000%, which was absolutely filthy. That was just dirty, man. So we're gonna have another good day today. Let's see. The market's kind of coming down a little bit here in the pre-market. It was running up after that sell-off yesterday, so I shorted here and then bought down here. It was absolutely nasty. Well, I mean, I bought puts here, sold them down here. So let's see what we get today. I don't think we have any crazy, 915 industrial production and capacity utilization. We don't have that much data, but we do have Fed speakers. So what you're going to see out of the Fed speakers, guys, is they are going to be, and they've seen it. I just tweeted this out, that little like GIF of somebody that's like, I'm walking backwards now. The reason is because they've seen the reaction of what the market has done. And now they have to try to walk back some of those comments of, oh man, the rate cuts are coming sooner than expected. Goldman Sachs expects 3 consecutive rate cuts, March, May, June. So that, I mean, that's not great for overall markets, but I mean, they're going to keep QT going. So we're in a very, very weird spot. But the Fed speakers are going to come out and basically try to walk these statements back. Now, if the Chegg just popped? Really? How much? No, it's flat. This thing's flat. So if Powell, the Federal Reserve chair, is going to come out and say, basically, we're kind of at the end, and then the other Fed speakers are going to walk it back, the only thing that the market is really going to react to at this point is a rate hike. They're like, because the Fed has basically been the boy who's cried wolf for like the last 4 months, because they've stopped raising interest rates, but they've said, wait, depending on the data, we might do it again, which it doesn't look like they're going to. Now, again, GDP growth is a little too high, but that's not really what they're looking for. Like, right now, the problem is the debt rollover next year. That's the issue that everybody's dealing with. It is inflation and all of those different factors, but with rates this high and continuing to be this high, even if you do a couple of rate cuts, well, rates are still going to be high. So you're still going to see those effects continue to play out. Like if they go from, it's almost like inflation. Think about it like this. It's almost like inflation where, let's say it's at 6% versus 3. Well, it just means that the speed at which prices are increasing is slowing down. It would be the same thing with going from a federal funds rate of 525 to 550 to like 475 to 5. It's the same thing. It's still going to have an effect on all of those data points, but they can slowly move it down. It's the same thing with inflation. Like you saw that Biden tweet that was like, why aren't prices coming down? Well, it's like, hey man, that's not how inflation data is actually supposed to be read. So it's the same thing. But again, if those rates are actually like net lower, well, it's easier for the government to refinance their debt. So they're trying to thread the needle here into this soft landing. So the soft landing is really going to be achieved, in the crunch time for that is really the next 6 months to see what happens. It's not really what's been happening over the last 4 months. The lesser of two evils, sort of. It's more so like, you just have to see it. And I tweeted this out yesterday, and I think this is really important. Also, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button on your way in, helps out a whole lot getting these streams out to some new people. Again, this information for you guys, I mean, most people should know this. They just don't. So economic data as a whole, I tweeted this out yesterday. A lot of it, especially the niche ones, like you'll see on Twitter, people posting these like very niche charts of like different things happening in the overall macroeconomic environment. Until everybody knows about that, it doesn't matter. Like you could see, what was one? The 401k hardship withdrawals. That's one. There's a couple of others that I've seen that where it's like, all right, that's kind of important, but it's not actually going to do anything. So What our job is, if we're looking at macro and where markets can go, there's three things. One, you have to identify what actually is important. What are the actual driving factors that big investors are going to be looking at? Now, sometimes they are going to be those niche things. So the second thing you have to somehow figure out, which is sometimes difficult, this is probably the most difficult part, is you then have to know that the public is then going to hear about it eventually. That's important, because if the public starts hearing about it and everybody starts to know, it then gets priced into markets and markets move. It's not, think about it like this. If inflation between now and the next time CPI goes out, like has a giant month-over-month increase, are you going to see the reaction on that in the time from now until then? Or are you going to see it once the data comes out? You're going to see the reaction once the data comes out, not before, because people don't know. So the third thing is that you then have to find that information before everybody else does. That's what macro investing is. That's the three key pillars. That's all you have to know. I mean, we're going to talk a lot more about that once we get into the end of February, beginning of March, how to identify those things. I have something pretty interesting planned for you guys. Ralph. Going into that time frame. So that is going to be fun. We're going to do a whole, I'm not going to announce it now, but it's going to be fun. Yeah, guys, let's see what we get today. Where's Baba over here? Baba was having some fun this morning off the China stimmy, which is interesting. So I got to look into the stimmy a little bit more, because they've been doing this every single month. It's just this month was the largest one that they've done. Now, if it's stimulation into the banks, into Chinese banks, well, can they then use that money to buy treasuries? I don't know. It'd be interesting if they could. And then you see demand step up for across all durations on all of these auctions that we have. That could be interesting. I don't know. I'd have to look into that a little more. But those are the key components of macro investing. It's identifying what's important. Is the general public or the investing public going to have to hear about this at some point? And then third, which could be second, is find out about it before everybody else. What do you think we did on TLT? Now, everybody was talking about TLT, but our thesis was, I would say, better. Just because I've been looking at this for so long, and I just have a better understanding than most market participants on what's going to happen with yields. I just do. We've been looking at this for 2 years. I've been doing this since I was 14. We know the deal. So that is a really good example of that. Now, you can also do it, and this is another thing that you can do. This is another cool thing. When you identify these things in macro, like rates, okay, what are the single stocks or ETFs that actually are going to react on that? Well, if rates are going to go down, regional banks are probably going to have some fun, which could be, KRE. It's a good one. Any of those other regional banks could be good options if we actually start to see those banks or these rates coming down. So more money flowing in and out of banks. The second one would be like buy now, pay later. So like a firm, any payment processor, maybe PayPal, something like that could get interesting. And there was one more thing I wanted to talk about here. What was it? Is it being an election year going to affect anything? Yes. Is it easier to sell inflation coming down over the... Dang, I had one more important thing I wanted to say here. I forgot what it was. Hopefully it comes back to me. It has to do with, like, tickers, I think. Banks. Bonds. I don't know. Oil. Yeah, it wasn't oil. But going off of what Tabasco Dave said, what they're basically going to do is you're going to see the Biden administration and whoever's in there and whoever ends up running is going to say inflation's come down a lot. But they're going to say it in a way to the American public that makes them think that prices are actually going to come down, when in reality they are not. Some things might. Oil will. Other than that, not really. Like, think about it like this. If you're a business owner, like a McDonald's, this is a great example. McDonald's food prices have gone up significantly over the last 2 or 3 years. Now, if there's still demand at those higher price points, why would you ever decrease them? Why would you ever decrease them? It's not price gouging. It's just the market. And then the government is going to get mad at them for having prices that high, but they are actually the cause of the problem in the first place for printing all that money. What got you into the market at a young age? I just saw people in the market and I was like, oh, it's interesting to me. So I started learning. Bought a bunch of AMD at like, and a lot of other stuff too, but bought a bunch of AMD at like 11.39, and now we're killing it. Wish I got into crypto at that time. That would have been fun. I'm trying to think of what it was here. It was a, here it is. All right, I got it. All right, you guys are gonna want to hit the like for this one. This is a really good one. I'll give you guys what the pain trade for next year is. So, what a pain trade is when you're describing a wage price spiral. Yeah. The wages are not going to catch up. The only people that are going to have success if the long-term inflation target actually moves up to 3 are people that own assets. Now, it's actually going to be different, in my opinion, this time because you're going to have to own specific assets that are going to benefit with these inflationary pressures. But there's niches in it this time that are going to move differently. Like some asset classes are going to move a lot better. Some asset classes are going to move a lot worse. And it's our job to identify which ones those are. Okay. Did I just forget about it again? No, I didn't. The pain trade. So a pain trade is when everybody really expects one thing to happen and they crowd that trade. So a good example of this is Carvana. If everybody is shorting the absolute you-know-what out of Carvana, and then all of a sudden things start to change, boom. You start to see these squeeze. So short squeezes are an example of a pain trade, as there's overcrowding on one side with an overall narrative, and then things start to change, and boom. Now, the pain trade for next year is that the Fed doesn't actually cut rates as much as everybody expects right now. That's the pain trade. Because everybody and their mother is expecting the Fed to do this. Now they are. Now, if they don't, which very unlikely, you can almost say it's like tail risk as well too, but it's not really. If they don't, there's a lot of money to be made on positions that go the other way. So what would those be? Short banks. So that would more so be a hedge for my TLT, something like that. So you could short REITs. There's a lot of things that you could do. You could long gold. Like Ralph is saying here, your mother doesn't follow the market. You don't really need to. Like, guys, the stuff that we do here most of the time is so simple. Like, I mean, I've had a nasty month. I mean, you guys saw on Twitter. What am I up so far this month? Like 46% or something. It's just like, again, like if the day trades are going to be a little slow through like a holiday month, which is fine, we're going to nail the swing trades, which is what we've done. I think almost every single ticker that I've sent you guys over the last like couple weeks here has gone absolutely nuts on the free video newsletter. Let's see. What do we got today? How's the market doing right now? It's bouncing back up. That's interesting. Where's Baba? Alibaba above 74. We could have another good day here, too. If Baba holds up in here, I could have another nice day. I've got a decent-sized Baba position. It's not bad. Bought it in, like, here. These couple days here. Just started scaling in. I really wanted it sub 70. I just, like, looking at it and then, like, just going into Powell and how much this is sold off. I was like, I don't really want to miss it. Because this has happened to me a lot with Baba where I'll have levels that I want it to trade to and it comes barely down to them. Like 70.08 is what it came down to and then bounced. So it's like, I'll take a little. Now that the position is up decently, I have a nice little size Baba position. So we'll see what happens with that. It expires in June. Let's see. Let's see. TLT down a little bit, but still at 98.34. Jeez, man. TLT, this trade has been just phenomenal here. Like, what else do you guys want? Like, seriously, this has just been the trade of the end of the year. Look at this, man. How many of you guys I've been paying attention to what I've been saying about TLT? I want a show of hands here. Everybody in the live chat here, who has been paying attention with TLT? Like, I say it a lot, and I'll say it again. Pay attention or pay a premium. When I start to really get interested in stuff, pay attention, because it gets interesting. This stuff starts to happen. Let's see. Show of hands. Who's been looking at TLT with me? I've been screaming it from the rooftops on Twitter. Screaming. Tabasco Dave, Tor, Dr. Bob. Yeah, if you guys went shares on TMF, you're just slaughtering it here too. Like, this is great. Like, this movement in just the actual ETF from like here all the way to, let's see where it's trading here, 17.5%. But if you look at TMF, the 3 times levered version of this, oh, it's ridiculous. You come down here, you go up to here. This thing's up 61%. You're already up 40%. I know we still have a long way to go. There you go, Daily Taylor. Well, yeah. But I mean, again, it's played out perfectly so far. I'm not really. I mean, I would actually look to add pullbacks, but I don't know. I might just leave it. 80 strike. Yeah, I've got the 95s, Ralph. You've been self-researching after you heard me talk about it on X? Thanks. Yeah, that's how I want you guys to do things. It's like when I say things, it's like if things are confusing to you, either ask me or research it. Because you can make a lot of money sometimes. Tesla got it at 240. Your contract expired. Yeah, I was interested in Tesla. I just didn't really like how it was setting up this week. What's up with SPY and Webull closing prices off? I have no idea. It doesn't really matter, honestly. I just, like, sometimes the data feeds are messed up. That's really all it is. Tesla's on a tear? Is it? Is it really running that hard? Yeah, so, I mean, I was kind of interested up in here above 246. But after it kind of invalidated down here, didn't flatline like this, I was no longer interested. You saw a lot of tickers do this, the bait down on Powell and then rip back up. And I was not interested in those. Rivian was one of these that we were looking at on the watch list, but once it baited down like this, I was no longer interested. It proceeded to go on an absolute rocket move, which is good for those of you guys that decided to take that as well on this break of this high. Good for you, wasn't for me. So, what did we hit? We hit PayPal for a bunch of money. What else did we hit yesterday? I mean, the 1,000% SPX was helpful. What else did I have? I bought something. I think it was PayPal. I think PayPal was the gem. 108. Yeah, I think that one was like 200 something %. I don't know. It's probably on my Instagram story if you guys haven't seen that yet. GM layoffs announced. Seen those layoffs, but unemployment's still low. Yeah, that data is all screwed up. IONQ. Did that one end up going or no? Because I got stopped out a few times on that. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so IONQ finally made that solid move there yesterday. So let's see if we can get up to that target. I'm not in on that one, though. Yeah, that's a good one. There were a couple more that last week I got stopped on. This was one. So you would have taken it here on Wednesday. I didn't want to enter any new positions. Oh, Carvana was another one I handed you guys. This one was dirty. So I actually made about 100%, maybe a little more than 100% on it when I traded, bought it here, wrote it up to here. Sold the top on this day, but again, you guys know, this is why I don't like trend lines, because this is what happens. You break the trend line, you chop around for a little bit, but all you really had to do was wait for it to break this range. Boom. Then you get the big move. That's why I don't like trend lines. Baba, I have Baba. 1,000% is never bad. Yeah, I know. It was not. I was sitting here doing other stuff, and I got stopped out on a futures trade. But again, from the remember from the advanced concept section in the day trading mastery course, we talk about how important those BJ key levels are. So I said, well, got stopped out on the futures trade. That's okay. Gonna take it on SPX just because you can just see the rejection happening out of that zone. Took it, set my stop, set my initial scale out, and then all of a sudden, boom, they hit. And I was like, what's going on here? So I just kept moving stops up and then throwing crazy limit orders out there, and then they just kept hitting. I was like, all right, I'll just keep doing it. But I mean, that's in there on the that was why I took that trade. It was those advanced concepts from that from the day trading mastery course. And again, all of you guys have again that strategy from the back testing, 0 losing months in 2023. I'm about to give you guys another one too that is going to have 30 years of data behind it. I know a block of 20 years has like a 655% return. And then this year had, depending on your risk, obviously, depending on your risk, had like 140% return. The interesting thing about that, and we talk about this a lot, is systemic trading versus discretionary. And when you get such a strong system, you don't necessarily have to know what you're doing, which I hate to say it like that, but that's what it is. It has to do with time. It has to do with where markets make the most moves. And once you guys see this, you're going to be like, what? It's that simple? I'll be like, yup. It's almost like taking investing concepts and putting them into day trading. It's ridiculous. So again, that one's going to get added to that course as well. You guys all get 30% off that. Oops, hold on. So there's that link right there. I threw it in the live chat again. The code is STV30, but that 30% off discount's only good for this month. If you guys have been on the email list, got the free ebook and everything, what do you call it? You guys have that 50% off code, but that's only good for this month too. So if you guys are interested, don't miss it, because it's going up to that normal price next month. All right. Whoa, TLT's bouncing here. Hello. What's Alibaba doing? Are we up? We're sitting at 74. That's not bad. Let's see here. I think Apex is doing like a special deal too for you guys. All right. Yeah, today, honestly, after the absolutely gargantuan day I had yesterday, I'm not looking at doing a whole lot. Just like my account in the last, let's see. I'll do it for December so far. Yeah, I gotta look. P&L, custom. Yeah, 44.94% in the last month. So there's not much I really need to do today. Take some small trades, wait for some good setups, and then see what happens. That check pop on Webull was nonsense. Yeah, it probably was. That one's interesting. I mean, I've got a little bit more time on that one, just to wait and see what happens with it. I believe they're still green. Want to see what happens today, though. At this point, though, that position could go to literally 0, and it doesn't matter from all the other trades that we've hit. Like, think about it. On the free video newsletter that we do on Sundays, it's what? We had Affirm, PayPal, DraftKings, what else? Mara, Snow, of like, there's so many of it. Beyond, Carvana, like there's so many multi 100%ers. Some of them even multi 1000%ers if you caught Affirm. So there's really like that's why swinging is so nice, because you hit a few of them and you're just completely all golden, good to go. And I know a lot of you guys are starting to see the light on swing trading, especially when market conditions are good like this. Oh, it's absolutely filthy. You just go on these absolute tears. Like I had one in June, July, and then now they're starting to really let the charts go, and that's when you really start to have some fun in the market. Because once things start following through, the gains are absolutely nuts. Even if you traded shares. So I just want to go over an example of one with you guys. Even if you traded shares and you're worried about trading options, this is a great example here. So if you look at Mara, the risk to reward here is 6-1 to that final TP. Now, if you were risking 1% of your account on this break to the upside here, well, you made an average between what? What was this risk to reward? 2.65 and 6.11. So you would have made approximately 4.5% on your account from this one trade alone. Now, if you're sizing for 0 in options, you're basically going to do the exact same thing. 4 or 5%. It's about what you're going to do if you're sizing appropriately. So it doesn't actually matter if you trade shares versus options with the swing trades, especially with these tickers that can make these big moves. Because if you're risking 1%, this is 1% risk. Well, all of this is 2% and then 6%. And then you could have even continued to hold it up to here if you really wanted to, because shares, there's no expiration. So you could have sold a little here, sold a little here, and then just kept holding them potentially for this next target at a 10-1. All right, so like that one trade is 10-1 risk to reward, or 1 to 10 risk to reward. Sick. That's how we do it. So I was out of the options around here for about 600%, but again, that's the same thing. Risking 1%, you get a 600% return. You're up like 6-7% on your account. Bing, bang, boom, done. You've been doing 5% on the port every day this week so far? Nice. I had a giant day yesterday, like a really big day. Because then I was already up big. Tally moving up here a little bit in the pre-market. I was already up big, so I took a little bit of money on those SPX puts and then just went. I was just risking profits. And then just let it fly. And it was huge. Dude. That was 1,000% on SPX in 15 minutes. Thank you very much. So, again, make sure you guys are taking advantage of that 30% off discount there. That is going to help you guys out a whole lot. It's systems, guys. It's making sure that your systems are in place, because a lot of the time, and what I see with people over and over and over again, is that they just don't get what day trading actually is. Day trading it doesn't matter what the chart does. Literally nothing on the chart matters really in terms of day trading if you want to have success over the long term. Your system matters, because then if you have the powerful system and if you know the system works over time, it eliminates all risk management and psychological lapses that you are all going to have if you are trading then with your discretion. Every time. EWZ, is that the Brazil ETF? I think it is. That one would have been great. I know you were telling me about this one. I don't know. I mean, I don't really like Ralph, you know what I like to trade. I like to trade the upstarts, the Maras, the Rivians, those types of tickers. Not necessarily like a niche ETF. If I would have done it, I probably would have traded shares on it. It's if I want to get into these ETFs here and start to play a little macro along with the chart, I'm probably taking them with shares. Am I trading options or futures? Both. I primarily swing trade options and day trade futures. I think that's the correct way to do it. It's the most effective way to do it, because you're not dealing with the effects of theta on a day trade. Most of the time, more consistently, you're going to make more consistent money based on price movements with futures than you will with options, just based on the effects of the Greeks. With swinging, though, I mean, most of you guys do not have enough money to swing futures. And I don't really want to swing futures either. I just don't want to. You can get better moves on single stocks. BRZU is the leverage EWZ. All right, so maybe I'd trade that with shares. So I'd find those ETFs and then find the levered ones and then trade them with shares. I would do that. I wouldn't have any problems doing that. All right, let's see. That was a BABA today. I'm interested to see what happens here. This is looking like a clear shift of trend. All right, let's see what we got. What open positions do I have right now? I don't think a lot. I think I'm out of a lot of stuff. Yeah, I don't have much. I've got 3 open positions in this account. So we'll see what happens there. At open, probably going to have another solid day here, depending on what these Alibaba contracts want to do. And then depending on what happens with Chegg here. If this thing wants to get a little spicy today, all right, I mean, I'll take something. The market's flashing around. I don't know what I'm going to do with the market today, because there is a trade opportunity setting up. It's just a little more risky. Ding, ding, ding. The market is open, team. Here we go. All right, everybody. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button on your way in. The market is open. All right, let's see what these Babas are up. If they're gonna update right now. No, they haven't updated yet. Haven't updated yet. Where's Alibaba? cool. Throw this on the 15-minute. See what it wants to do. Been waiting a long time for the Baba bottom. Yeah, I got it a few days ago. Yeah, the contracts haven't updated yet. They do that with Baba. So I just want to see what these update to, and then see where we can go from there if there's anything I need to do. Cheg's looking all right. I want to see this thing get up to that 12 area. 1250. That's kind of what I'm looking for on it. TLT not doing much. ES coming down. Watch this zone down here. Watch this zone on ES. That's an important area. Yeah. The Babas are probably going to take a few minutes to update. I would expect them. I mean, they're at like 17% right now. I would expect them to be up like 30, 40 maybe if I'm lucky. 30. That's what I'm guessing. Depends though. The Baba contract can move a little crazy. And then again, we for the newsletter this weekend, I'm gonna have to go through a lot of tickers for you guys. So make sure you guys are there. The emails are gonna get sent out at noon, and then we'll do the live stream as usual at 2. If you guys aren't on there yet, you haven't downloaded the free ebook and are not on the free video newsletter, just go to shorttevix.info and you guys are all good to go. Let's see. Baba coming down. I hate when they do that. Market's slipping a little. They update yet? Nope. Oh, nothing. Nothing yet. Nothing on the chain. Hey. None of that nonsense. All right, folks. Telly's holding on here. I like that. The Chegs are flashing. Man, this thing's screwing around. This thing's taking a lot longer to play out than I would have liked. So we'll see what happens with it, though. All right. Any tickers that you guys are looking out for, let me know. Any questions that you guys have about anything macro or anything trading related, just let me know as well. The Fed is making a mockery of itself. It's just embarrassing at this point. Fed's John Williams says the central bank isn't really talking about rate cuts right now. Literally, they are, actually, Mr. John Williams, you dum-dum. That's actually like almost word for word exactly what they're talking about. Don't plagiarize what the ECB said. Don't be going over there and talking to Lagarde and being like, hey. This is what we should do. No. We're the United States, not Europe. Yeah, the Babas still haven't updated yet. Come on, man. Maybe 5 minutes in they'll update. That's interesting. This is the longest I've seen them take to update. Usually it's within a few minutes here. It's 3 minutes into market open. TLT holding up here. I want to see my Christmas present. TLT above 100. Boeing? What's up with Boeing? Boeing ripping a little there. Oh, my God. Boeing hasn't had a red day since November 27th. Oh, my God. Guys, look at Boeing's chart. Holy jeez. Boeing just on a tear here. Happy Friday. Glenn, what's up, buddy? How you doing? All right, 37% on the Babas. That's nice. That's great there. So they updated. Are the spreads bad? They're not great, but the Babas I have are up 37% for next June. That's pretty good. I don't hate that. I don't have much open here though, so I'm really looking to set things up into for next week and then going into the end of the year. But I'm probably gonna not take any new open swings today, which is fine. We just wait. Hope everyone else is doing exceptional. Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been on an absolute tear recently. Up about 40. What was the number? 45, 46% in the month of December so far. Really crushing it. I hope you're doing good too, man. You've made some real big calls. Chegg not doing much here. All right, TLT looking good though. 33% on the Babas now. Yeah, they're going to flicker around, but that's fine. Decent size on it. Let's see what happens with that. So, The other issue here too is that like I don't think there's gonna be a lot of tickers that are gonna show up on any of the scanners, because everything probably ripped this week, which is fine. I mean, we just gotta find the ones that are lagging, like a Baba or something like that. Watch this zone right here. 475775 is a level that I'm looking at. If you guys have been in the day trading mastery course, you know why. I don't think I'm taking this. I just want to see what happens. Just been chilling. I'll drop everything into defense stocks. Oh, Glenn, you just are. If you hit the BA, you're nailing it there, man. I want to see Chegg up at 12. Telly, I mean, holding on here with the market coming down. Little divergence here this morning. I like that. Where's the 10-year? 10-year slipping. 392. What was the low? 3887. Okay. Chewy on the daily. What do I think? We could take a look. We could take a look at that. I believe I've seen some screenshots of some pretty big Chewy gains, so I'd probably say no, but I haven't even looked at the chart, so let's take a look at the chart. Baba selling off. That's no fun. No, I don't like this yet. This thing would need to flatline a little bit. This would actually be something that I'd look for going into next week. If this thing can have some nice consolidation throughout the remainder of next week, you could get a really, really, really nice pop above some of these levels here, up into this area, this 2550, maybe even filling this gap at 2628 or 2627. This is interesting here off of their earnings. So nothing for me yet, but just waiting. And again, the reason why you guys see me like hitting, like when I go on these runs, is because I'm so specific, like so, what do you call it? So specific with what I'm looking for. Did you see the new promo with Apex? I haven't seen the new promo with Apex. Is it the 71% off, Nettie? What's the new promo with Apex? As we look at Meta real quick. Facebook up nicely here. I own a lot of Facebook, so this is good for me. That's good. This is no setup for me here, but I own a bunch of shares of this, so it's probably my third or fourth largest holding in my long term. Remember, I said this yesterday. I tweeted it out. I don't measure my long form in terms of dollars. I measure it in terms of how many Ferraris I can buy. No, but Nettie, what's the Apex promo? I'm curious. 1 day to pass. 80K chance to pass eval in 1 day. Oh, you guys can pass them in 1 day? Oh, hold on. Let me send you guys. Here's the Apex link here. So if you guys want to hop over and get some of those Apex accounts, I think you need 20 accounts in order to do that. So there you guys go. I believe they're also 71% off here too. So you pass the eval in 1 day and you get entered into an $80,000 drawing. Oh, that's sick. Oh, yeah, there you guys go. So, and they're 71% off, I think, right now with Save 71. Oh, that's sick. I mean, it is very gambly, but, I mean, if you want to do it, go for it. That's the Apex link, so if you guys are interested, have some fun. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, there you guys go. If you want to hop in there, go for it. If not, don't do it. All right. Where's Baba? Baba was slipping here. It got bought up a little. Nothing crazy. If Telly can close the week above 99, I would see no... I mean, it definitely is within striking distance of 100 by Christmas. Apex is promoting gambling? They absolutely are. They absolutely are, but almost so is every prop firm. Every single prop firm is gambling. Or they make it so difficult for you and put a bunch of rules on there. There is one that doesn't, and it's not really the ones that you think it is. So I gotta wait for them. I haven't talked to them. I might just send them a message and be like, hey bro, let's get on it here. Because I do gotta make that prop firm video with you guys, because I sat here and got all the rules out. Some of the rules are just ridiculous on some of them. There goes Telly. Nice. Oh, you must have 20 accounts that have withdrawn minimum 2 times a month. Oh, interesting. TopStep's better. Yeah, TopStep is really good. There is another one too that's very similar to TopStep. It's a little more expensive, but they don't restrict you. So like when you pass the evals on TopStep, you have to follow what's called their scaling plan. So you can only like let's say it's a 150K account. You start with only being able to trade 3 contracts. You make a certain amount of money. You can trade 4, and then I think it keeps stepping up. I forget exactly what it is, but that's effectively what you're looking at there. The trailing drawdown on Apex is what gets you. Yeah, I don't see much here. I don't see much, but we'll see. All right, let's see what we got here, folks. TLT looking nice, slow cooking. Yeah, that's what I expect it to do. I don't expect TLT to do this. I'll throw this on the weekly. I don't expect it to do this. That. I do not expect this. I expect slow grind, but look at that, man. Look at that. On the weekly, just absolutely crushing it. Have to unlearn everything and relearn. Well, I mean, there are ways to screw around with the Apex accounts. Like you can, like, you almost there's two ways to pass Apex accounts. One, you oversize and max allocate, and then you try to pass it on one trade. What expiry dates do I have on TLT? Now I just have one expiration date for not this January, but next January. So Nettie, there's two ways to pass Apex accounts. One is you oversize and try to pass them in one trade. It's not necessarily oversizing because technically, if you hit like a 1 to 4 on a 50K account, or some of them you're hitting the profit target. But then you just have to like enter and exit for like nonsense the next couple days. The other way to do it is that if you actually want to like practice your trading and be smart, is you trade with way less size, like way less size. You trade with like micros, or you trade with like 1 ES maybe, and then slowly do it because the trailing drawdown. So then you're eliminating a lot of the effects of the trailing drawdown. So you're just like operating within the bubble. Yeah, here comes Telly. Telly pushing 99 here. So that's how you pass Apex account. So the only times that I would say that it would make sense to do the oversizing is when they have the 90% off sales. And the 71, it depends on your current financial situation. Like if you're just like, oh, I want to screw around with Apex accounts, then do whatever you want. But if you're like taking them seriously, then I would not do the oversized method unless there's a 90% off sale. You got adult things and responsibilities you must address. Have a great weekend. Glenn, you too. You just keep getting stopped out with some rogue candle. Your stops are too tight, Nettie. I think you were saying that you had like a 2-tick stop loss or something. It was like something crazy. That's gonna hurt you. That's gonna hurt you. Baba pulling up there a little bit. I want to see this thing launch. Because Baba, you guys all know, Baba has the ability to get really juicy. Oh, my TLTs are jumping. I'm up nice on the day here. Yeah, it feels like my, because I have like a bunch of concentrated TLT in this account. So like, it feels like sometimes that like my account will like, the percentages get skewed because of like weird spreads and how they close. So, like, sometimes it'll show me being, like, either red when I'm flat or when I'm actually up, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But over, like, a longer period of time, it averages out. Today, your interactive brokerage suggestions talked about 10% move on TLT. I don't like that. I don't like when mainstream starts to talk about stuff. One of the main things that I was looking at when I was buying TLT is that there were a lot of news articles that said that the 10-year treasury was going to 7 or 8. And I was like, yeah, all right, bro. Thank you for your teachings, brother. Folks, have a great weekend. Grant, you too, buddy. So remember what I was talking about earlier in the stream about macro investing? 1, you have to identify what's important. 2, you have to then identify and think about if the public is actually going to have to hear about it at some point, because if the investing public then knows, then there could be a lot of money being moved in that direction. And then the third step, which is kind of like step 1.5, is you have to know before everybody else. And it's not like an insider information thing. It's just no. You just have to look at the data and be smarter than everybody else. Which is, I mean, sometimes it's hard to do depending on the situation, but sometimes it's very simple. I think a lot of people are overcomplicating what's happening with yields and debt issuance right now. Like I see a lot of like really successful fund managers that are perplexed by what's happening right now. And I think that they've just looked at it incorrectly. I think they're discounting the importance of the debt rollover next year, and I think they're over concentrated on the actual metrics that we're seeing, even though logically we all know that those metrics are nonsense. So that's my assumption, is I think they're too focused on short-term data and not necessarily understanding that when inflation comes down, it going from 6 to 3 or whatever, and that still means that it means inflation is just rising at a slow, or prices are going up at a slower rate. Well, rate cuts can have the same effect. Prices of goods and services and the effects of money getting taken out of the economy slow down. Doesn't mean it stops happening. It means it slows down. It doesn't mean rate cut and like everything goes back up. It's like, because we're not going from 5 to 0. We're going from maybe 5 to 4.75. It's like, okay, well, that's not actually gonna, like, because you can see it too. Like the first rate hikes that we did they have an effect? No. First rate cuts that we do are probably not going to have that crazy of an effect. But what will they have an effect on? The thing that everybody's discounting is not the most important thing. Debt rollover next year. So we've been spot on with our thesis so far, and I think we're going to continue to be, but we will see. We will see. So TLT 3 months out better. Well, think about it. How long? I'll ask you this, Eddie, and that'll probably answer your question. How long do you think that the market is going to be in a decreasing interest rate environment for? In other words, what is the Fed? What is this? In other words, what has the Fed told everybody about when the conclusion of rate cuts are going to happen? Think about it like this. Think about it like that. Not technically on a short-term move on TLT. And then we can have a conversation about it here. Most of your friends don't know who J. Powell is, so being smarter than the public isn't difficult. Sort of, Tabasco, but those people aren't necessarily active market participants. And even if they are, this is interesting, and I'll talk about this for a second here too. If they put their money in ETFs, they're effectively handing their money over and giving voting rights to large organizations. BlackRock's one of them. 6 months to a year. It's actually 2 years, Eddie. So it's 2 years. First rate cut means the start of downside in the market. That I also disagree with. I don't like. Logically speaking, when rate cuts happen, it's signaling that bad things are happening in the economy. But if they're going to cut rates and keep QT going, well, they're not going to do that if we're in a recession. Which, if you look at the data, having a recession is the key data point on whether or not the market sells off with rate cuts. So I think that's blown out of proportion too, but that's what the market's for. I can have my assumption and my understanding. I put my money where my mouth is. I'm right or wrong. Currently, I'm correct. So we'll see what happens. So you got January 2026? Damn, bro. You are out there. I like that. I like that long-term vision. So going back to what I was telling Tabasco Dave about just now is, well, if those people don't know who Jay Powell is, depending on if they're invested at all or not, their money is still then going to get voted on and is going to be used effectively. One of the ways that this happens is, okay, think about it like this. All right, so this is hinting at my new project that I'm going to start doing. Remember how I told you guys that there's a lot of random stuff that I know that I can't necessarily say on the internet all the time? This doesn't qualify into one of those things, but I wouldn't say most of them in the crazy stuff that I know on this channel. It just doesn't make any sense. Nobody's going to care. This one, though, does apply. So BlackRock in the ESG is a very interesting predicament. So, I mean, we've heard Vivek say this a lot, and it's like, thanks for saying it, man. You've got a voice. Because what happens is that these large organizations have these, like, narratives. And BlackRock's known as, like, the money manager that owns everything. Now, do they own pieces of everything? Yes. Are they doing this real estate nonsense? Well, I mean, people, like, they say that they're not, but they probably are. It's more so Blackstone, which helped found BlackRock. So, whatever. But the problem is that when you invest in a lot of these iShares ETFs, which BlackRock owns, they bought from Barclays in, I think, 2011. I'd have to double check the data. BlackRock then holds the voting rights. So if you're invested with BlackRock, will GME go crazy after that huge New Year's meetup in Times Square? Absolutely not. No. Why would it? How does people gathering in New Year's have anything to do with the stock, Ronald? I think that's a little hopium there, and I think you gotta take that out of your investing decisions. But again, we've talked about this a lot too. AMC, GME, those are done. Can they move up? Yeah. But are they gonna do what everybody thought they were gonna do? I mean, GameStop maybe, but I highly doubt it. AMC absolutely not. But going back to this BlackRock stuff, well, if you don't like some of the let's think about it like this. If you don't like some of the things that you see in society about where things are moving and you're invested in these ETFs, well, your money is then being voted for these types of things in companies. Exxon's a great example of it. They were voting to halt oil, like these oil production projects, and then gave the same contracts to these Chinese companies for pennies on the dollar that BlackRock also holds stakes in. They own, I think it's 7% of PetroChina, and they were the ones that picked up the deal. Here's another one that's crazy. And this is all I'm going to say about it. I think the way that this new project is going to go, you guys are going to hear it. Don't be commenting, is this you? It'll be a separate thing. I just like doing this stuff. So this is the other interesting thing. In 2008, BlackRock was basically tasked with facilitating the valuation of I think it was Bears. I think it was Bear Stearns toxic assets. It was like $30 billion. But they also helped with everything else too. They then got basically in control of managing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And then the government was basically indebted to them. Now, with all this other stuff too, they basically did the same thing in 2020. Now, 2020 had a very key difference between how the Fed did it last time and how the Fed did it this time. This time around, they were allowed to buy corporate bonds and ETFs. Would you like to guess? Solar. Oh, yes, solar's back. Yes. Oh, I love this. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. All right, hold on. Solar, please stay here for a second. This is going to be really fun. Let me just finish this point because this is cool. I'm happy that you came in here because this is going to be awesome. Do you want to guess what the highest purchased ETF was by the Fed? Anybody want to guess? You're probably not going to know, but I'll tell you. It was the iShares investment grade corporate bond ETF, LQD. Solar. Oh, I love this. Solar. Okay. So go to my Twitter. Actually, I'll just pull this up for you because I don't think you're going to do it. Go to my All right, here we go. Ready? This is yesterday. So with my strategy that I teach you guys in the course. Solar, please. Solar, look. Solar, look. Solar, look. Look, Solar. Look. Solar, look. Solar, where are you? Come on, where are you at? Don't get scammed. Look at this. 833% scammed. It actually, my final order sold over 1,000%. I just couldn't get a screenshot of it. Want to know where I bought? Want to know where I bought puts? Right here. Ah! Is it this? Yeah, look. Solar, look. Look, buddy. Look. Look. Come on. Yeah, so everybody gets 30% off to the course this month. If you're on the email list, you guys are good to go. You guys got 50, but everybody in the public right now has got 30. Oh, please scam me so I can do that. Solar, come back. Solar, come back. I want to play. Solar, I'm up 46% this month. It's December 15th. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I was hoping Solar would come back. Oh my God, that just made my day. Bro, you're trading on Weeble, you're a clown? I love this guy. Dude, I love Solar. It's like anything that I say, he's just gonna be like, it's Weeble. I love it, dude. This is awesome. Solar, please keep coming back. You're not going to be impressed over one play? I mean, you can... All right. So then what about every single other trade that I've given everybody? TLT, everything else. Oh, this is so much fun. This is so much fun. Affirm, everything. TLT. I'm up like 46% this month. Now all you need is Albago. I know. Dude, I love it. I love it. I'll throw the link to the course in here for you guys again. The code is STV30. Again, you guys have until the end of the month to hop in there. I'm here. Good. Stay here, buddy. I like having you in here. It's fun. If 833% is a scam, I want to be scammed all the time. Well, hold your horses, Eddie. It was actually 1,000%. I just couldn't get the screenshot because it just went foop, sold, and I just... Baba's pumping? There you go. You thought you're on the email list but haven't gotten anything? Matt, send me a DM on Instagram or Twitter with your email. And then I'll see if you're on there. You should be on there. If you downloaded the free ebook, you're good to go. Yeah, Baba's looking good here. What are these contracts up? 39%. That's good. The TLTs, oh, those are epic. 73. Those are good. I love it. Solar, you'll see the light one day. Just keep coming around. Watch. In like 6 months' time, Solar is going to be like, oh, sorry, man. Oh, sorry. Solar, I literally did. I showed you 46% or 45% in the last month. It might be more now. Yeah, 44.9. Wait, what is it? And it's still, refresh it. Come on. Yeah, it's like 45% in the last month, bro. So profitable every month this year. But what else? Well, I'm going to hand you another one that'll have 30 years of data behind it. That one of them is, what, 600 something percent? The 20 years is 633%. And then the this year was 140. That's a really good one. How much do you think I'm up right now? I don't know, Solar, but I hope you're up decent. I hope you're up decent. I would like to know, though. Hold on. I do want to know. Solar, why? Because all the evidence is out there that, like... Wait, you think I believe you when I know exactly how the market works? You use a day trade to close calls? What does that mean? I just want to know, like, why do you hate me? I'm so confused all the time. I'm like, how could you hate me? Wait, only 30 years of data? You could do better. I just want to know why you don't like me. Like, tell me. I want to know. If you stay around here long enough, you'll get some really, really awesome trades, man. Yeah, Morrow, Dave's been popping up in here. It's been fun. All right, let's see what we get here. There goes Baba, looking good there. What are these up now? No, they're glitching. That's annoying. These should be up more. Grr. Same day. Use day trades to close calls the same day. If you would hold them, you would be rinsed. Hold on. Are you saying that, like, if I take a day trade and then I make money with it, that, like, if I held it, I would lose money? That makes me bad? That's absolutely brilliant. That's like Einstein level right there, bro. Like, you hasty because I'm wearing my hat backwards? Well, you know, that's okay. That's okay. Work just trying to kill you with overtime? Oh, that stinks, buddy. Let's see. You're almost, yeah, Dave, you're like a year away, aren't you? You're close to retirement. I like Baba here. I'm a pattern day trader. No, I'm not actually. I'm actually not. You don't know what that means. I'm actually not a pattern day trader, because if I was deemed a pattern day trader, that would mean that I'm restricted from day trading, which I'm not. I can do whatever I want at any time. 28% on your Baba so far. There you go. I don't think you know what pattern day trading means. Yeah, I'm up 41% on the Babas right now. That thing's got some size on it. That's good. Not everyone can use day trades. Right, which is hey, Solar. You just, like, I don't get it, man. Which is why I've been calling out 1,000%ers on swings. A Ferb, like, Mero was 600. PayPal was 600. DraftKings was 600. It's okay, man. Like, we might have to put you in timeout. You're going to make everybody's brain bleed. Let's see. Yes, coming up. Baba looking good here, man. There we go. 36% on Baba here since we're sharing. Woo! There you go. There you go. You guys are paying attention. There you go. Yeah, I'm up 44. Well, 43.76. I don't want Solar to lose his mind. Wayne's down 14%. Wayne, I don't know how the hell you've done that. That's called over-risking. That's crazy. Hashtag save Solar. Yeah, we do need to save Solar. Wait, who was the other person we were trying to save? There was somebody else that we were trying to save. And then AMC proceeded to fall another 50% after. That was bad for them, not for us. You bought calls yesterday and sold them. That's a day trade. I actually didn't buy calls yesterday, actually. Sorry, SV, I shouldn't judge. You close your AMD swings at open for only 190%. Actually, Solar, I bought puts yesterday and made 1,000%. And then all my calls were from previous days. And those still printed. And then I sold some of my calls yesterday at the top. Oh, Armando's up 50% on Baba. There you go. Was it? Oh, it was Thomas. It was Thomas. It was Save Thomas. I remember that. Holy, Palantir's back to like 19. There you go. I think Solar's girlfriend said the other day you were good looking and he's insecure and frustrated. That does happen, and it's really unfortunate for all these other people. It just happens, man. But all right, guys, keep smacking that like button on the way in. Helps out with the algos over here. We're gonna keep doing our thing and printing. Yeah, there's nothing yet here on the market that I like for day trades. Just sitting here swinging, man. Just sitting here swinging, doing nothing, letting more money come into the account, and just hanging out. Up 71% on Baba. There you go, Eric. Wow, you guys are beating me here. I mean, my contracts expire in June, so I'm not doing much with those. I'm up 40. They're flickering. Yeah, the spreads are a little... the spreads are tighting. You're better off with an OnlyFans? Solar, are you calling me cute? Solar, are you calling me cute? Solar, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. TLT looking good here. I just wonder where Solar is right now. He's just like anger, anger, anger. You're kind of cute though. Anger, anger, anger. All right. Oh, bye, Solar. I'll see you later, buddy. Hopefully you come back on Monday. I think I'll be streaming on Monday. I'm not sure. I gotta fly at some point. I don't know when though. I have a flight. I just don't know when it is. That usually happens. Tally's at 99 there. I like that. Ankles on my OnlyFans? I don't know, man. I don't know. We're going to have to see about that. If you get 500 likes on the stream, I'll do ankles, but I don't think you guys are getting that. Don't think you guys are getting that. Eric. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, man. Baba's still holding on here above 74. I like that. Yeah, the spreads on these are interesting. They're flickering around between like 40 and 44%. Pfizer? I don't like Pfizer, but it's up. I mean, this thing has been absolutely beaten. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan. Well, I mean, that's Wednesday. I wouldn't count that as good volume spike for us. Think TLT's closing above 99 today? I don't know, but I'd love it to. That would put us within striking distance of 100 by Christmas, which is what I want. You're up? You bought puts yesterday? That's great. I made 1,000% on puts yesterday. And then my BABA calls are printing, and my TLT calls are printing, and my PayPal calls printed, and everything else is printing. I thought you were leaving Solar. Is it my good looks that's keeping you around here? Is that what it is? That's fine. I'm fine with you staring at me. There are dudes out there in my DM, or they used to be. I told them to stop because it was weird. They were like saying weird things in my DMs, and I was like, this is just too much. There were a few of them. VIX one day. Yeah, that chart's weird. Like, I don't like it. This thing's weird. This thing's jacked. I don't want to go. I don't even want to go anywhere near this thing. That thing's just like a broken volatility ETF. Baba looking decent here. Chegg just hanging on to that level. TLT doing nothing either. He's hoping for ankles. I don't think he's going to get it today. 41% down. Dude, I know the thing. That thing's weird. You can see that chart. It just looks broken. He's staying after he hurt ankles at 500 likes. Well, you're 450 away. Getting ready to catch a Christmas party at your daughter's school. Be easy. James, you too, buddy. You have a good rest of your day. You guys got a lot of crazy info on this stream, too, this morning. If you guys were late to the stream, the first, 30 minutes of it was just knowledge bomb. Dave. Oh my God, Dave. I think Dave missed my story about the old why you gotta knock me up first. Dave, were you here when I told the story of my little run-in with Southie with an old mob guy? What he said he was gonna do to me. It's very similar to that, but it was more indirect. Did you hear that one? I don't want to tell it again, but Dave would really like this story, so I feel like if Dave hasn't heard it, I'll tell it before we go. It's just an awesome, so funny. You haven't heard it? Oh, here we go. All right, so it's Halloween, and me and my friends are all dressed up in costumes, and we go outside because all my buddies live in Southie. So like they have like this back porch. It's cold out, but they have lights out there. And like we're going to go to like another like pregame party before we go out. So all we do is we go outside on the deck and just start taking photos. That's all we're doing. The neighbors are making some noise, which we're then gonna go to. So then we're literally not doing anything crazy. I've had a few beverages at this point. So we go outside and the guy, he used to sell a bunch of drugs for like Whitey Bulger back in like the 80s. Went to jail for like 20 years and is now out. And he just lives right next to my friends. He's kind of not fun to hang around with. He just yells all the time. So he comes out and starts yelling. Now, it's not my house, so I'm not saying anything. But after like 5 or 10 minutes of just like annoying yelling, I just kind of look at him and I just go, "Can you just shut up?" I'm like, it was a slightly different words, but I was like, just shut up or do something. I'm tired of this. I was like, this is stupid. What are you doing here? We're sitting outside taking pictures. That's all we're doing. We've spent more time arguing with you and made more noise. You've made more noise than we have arguing about us making noise when we weren't making noise. Stop. This is stupid. So then he says to me, word for word, I'll chop your you-know-whats off. Come over here. And so I then replied to this. Hey, man, I get it's 2023. That's cool. If that's how you want to ride. I think it's a bit strange, though, that you want me to come over there so you can play with my you-know-whats. It's a bit weird. Wasn't expecting that out of you. And this guy lost his mind. He was like, just starts getting angrier and yelling. And I go, bro, it's okay. Like, just relax. It's going to be okay. If you want me to go over there so that you can do that and, like, you want to have a good time and, you know, like, that's just not for me. I said some other things, too, but I'm not going to say it on the stream. So then we get to the point where he goes, I go, you know, man, all you really had to do was come out here and just say, can you please keep it down, even though we're not making any noise. And he goes, fine. Can you please keep it down? I go, thank you. And he goes, go F yourself, and walks back inside. And I was like, that was so much fun. That's almost better than what I used to say on the football field to people. Most people, when those types of individuals threaten you in that way, would get scared. I don't care. Yeah, when you flip it on them like that, no, it's awesome. Imagine you would send him a kid, like, blow him a kiss. Let's see. Did he promise to knock you out first? No, he didn't. But that was the first story I told since I've been back on streams. It was a good one, too. It's a good story. But after that, I haven't heard anything from him since. That's interesting. You probably don't want to threaten those things. Let's see. I've seen him around. He just doesn't say anything anymore. I'm like, I wonder why. Was it the thing that I said to you? I was like, does he just think that this kid is just going to just like yell at me for saying crazy things? Because then he's got to think. He's like, I got to think about what I'm going to say because it's just going to get flipped on me. We're going to throw the Uno reverse card. And canceled. No, I have no idea. I don't think so, Chad. That was I was like, hey, man, can we, like, I'm just, like... No, Eddie. You can't say things like that. Like, you have to, there's an art TLT running here. There we go. There's an art to saying things wild like that where you have to phrase it in not a crazy way like you've just said. You can't say it like that because you have to sit, like, remember the old thing that I used to say on the football field? That, like, people just don't know how to react when you say things like that. They're like, what? And then they just get confused. It's the same thing with this one. Like, if you said that to somebody, they just get more angry. This one, they're like, wait, I kind of did say that. So, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Telly running. I like that. I like that a lot. What was that, 99.16? Looking good. Telly contracts up 76%. Looking good. Looking good across the board, man. There's people that have lived their entire life off intimidation. Once you take that away from them, they just have nothing. They're not going to do anything. They're never going to do anything. And if they do, that's not going to end well for them in many aspects. Like, it just won't. Like, it's just like a silly thing for them to do. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be that dude. It could be just some random dude at a bar. Like, it doesn't matter. Chegg coming down. That's no fun. Let's see. Telly's ripping, though. The Chegg position, I almost don't even care about anymore. Like, that could go to 0, and we're still going to be cranking. Palantir is above 19, yeah. Yeah, like, you don't, like, this is another good one, Eddie. Like, if somebody, like, cuts you off and, like, does something bad to you in, like, the car, you don't, like, flip them off. You just give them a thumbs down. Then they actually feel bad. Like, it's little psychological things. We're like, oh, man, that's a thumbs down. That's a good one. All right, team. I think we are going to be wrapping it up here for today. Everybody, have a great weekend. I think we are going to be live on Monday, but I'm not entirely sure. I got to check the dates. So again, remember, all of you guys have until the end of the month with that link right there to get 30% off the Day Trading Mastery course. I'm going to try and get that new strategy in there for you guys out as soon as I can. Remember, you don't have to pay more once you're in there. You just get every additional strategy that I'm going to release in the future. If you don't get in by the end of the month, though, you will then have to pay more for both of them because there's not going to be the discount. So, team, you want that strategy that said 0 losing months in 2023? You want an in-depth guide to futures, options, risk management, psychology, everything? There's about, like, what, 23, 24 videos in there? A lot of value, and I just show you the back testing on it. I do it in front of you. Very, very, very strict. So, guys, I will see you later. Don't do anything stupid in the market today, especially if you've had a really awesome week, which I know a lot of us have. Again, I'm probably just going to be hanging out doing other stuff. If I see a good opportunity, I'll take it, but I highly doubt there is going to be one. So, I will see you guys later, team. Make sure you guys are using the weekend productively. Again, we'll have that video newsletter coming out at 2 p.m. on Sunday. If you're not on there, shortthevix.info. It's free ebook, free newsletter. Team, I will see you later. Peace.